These type of situations happens every day. Every day. That is gambling and shit, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And rob the dice game or whatever, you feel me? No matter who the f they are.
Boosie is back under the spotlight, and no, it's not because he dropped a new hit or blew up on Instagram. This time, it's way more serious, life or death level serious. Duke the jeweler is gone, cold-blooded, and guess whose name keeps coming up in all the wrong places? Boosie. This isn't some random internet gossip or fake rumor. This is the real deal. Now we're seeing actual federal documents, witnesses stepping forward, and concrete evidence surfacing. Social media is buzzing non-stop, and the streets are talking loud, real loud. What started as whispers in barbershops and direct messages has escalated into a full-blown federal investigation. Every new detail that emerges only makes things worse for Boosie. It's like someone's piecing together every shady event, forming one ugly puzzle, from a suspicious traffic stop where Boosie got pulled over, to high-end jewelry disappearing into thin air, and multiple eyewitnesses naming names. It's all adding up fast. There was even a heated dice game that may have ended in violence. If you thought this was just another street beef, think again. It's way deeper. Here's how it all unfolded. On the surface, it seemed Boosie was just out riding, minding his business. Then suddenly, flashing lights and sirens, he gets pulled over by cops. At first, no one thought much of it. Boosie's been through stops like this before, but then people started piecing it together. Why that car? Why that day? And that's when things took a darker turn, because that traffic stop happened right after Duke the jeweler was fatally shot in Houston. That's no coincidence. When people noticed the timing, the internet blew up with theories. Everyone started looking sideways. Then the feds stepped in and they came heavy. This isn't the usual court drama Boosie's faced before. This is a whole different level. Insiders say the feds told him straight up, this case is separate. No delays, no distractions, no side quests. We're coming full force. No mercy. Behind the scenes, the feds have already made power moves. They separated this case from Boosie's past legal troubles and are zeroing in on what really happened that night. Who was with Duke, who survived, and who's trying to vanish. Boosie may be posting music and acting like business as usual, but to the feds, he's a top-tier person of interest in a federal murder case. This isn't a drill. They're watching his every move, call, and post. They want answers fast. The timeline is coming together. According to Houston PD's official report, Duke flew in from Chicago with one clear mission: to sell exclusive high-end jewelry to Boosie. This was strictly business, or at least it was supposed to be. Duke was carrying over $1 million worth of custom ice packed tightly in a Louis Vuitton bag. This wasn't small time, it was major. Earlier that day, Duke was seen at a celebrity boxing event, rubbing elbows with big names. Later, he joined a private dice game, the same game where Boosie and others were hanging out. Here's where things get shady. Right after the dice game ended, Duke was robbed and shot dead. Minutes later, he was gone. No jewelry, no bag, and no answers. Boosie said Duke took off on his own, and whatever happened after, he had no clue. But with that tight timeline, and the fact Duke flew out just to meet him, the feds aren't buying it. Not even close. That's when Duke's brother, Stax, stepped forward, making it crystal clear he's not letting his brother's death be swept under the rug. Stax spoke out bluntly, no sugarcoating. He believes Boosie set Duke up. No hints, no shady straight up truth. According to Stax, Boosie was the last person Duke met with. Right after that, Duke ends up dead. That doesn't sit right with Stax.
We got service tomorrow for Duke. Leave your phones in the car, man. The family don't want no phones, man. We ain't got time, motherfucker, be sneaking no pictures, no videos, no bullshit like that. Leave your phones in the car, man. The family asking for no pictures, no recording and shit like that, man. So if y'all want to get y'all little ass slapped up.
Honestly, this situation isn't sitting right with a lot of people. Stax has been digging on his own, reviewing footage, checking timestamps, connecting the dots like a detective on the case. From his perspective, Duke didn't just get caught off guard, he was set up. This whole thing reeks of something bigger. It hits hard, a cold reality that leaves scars. Losing in the streets is one thing, but when the betrayal comes from someone you trusted, that's a whole other level. Duke showed up thinking he was handling serious business with a well-known celebrity, someone with status, cash, and clout. But what he walked into is starting to look like a setup from the inside. Whether Boosie played a part in what went down, or was just present when things went south, that's exactly what the feds are trying to uncover. Either way, the damage is done. Duke's not coming back, and the streets want answers. Let's break down what Duke brought to that night's meet, because this wasn't just any dice game. Duke the jeweler wasn't just some flashy guy with a chain. He was respected in the jewelry world, known for crafting custom pieces for celebrities, athletes, and influencers. His reputation was solid, and his craftsmanship top tier that night. He was carrying serious weight, over $1 million worth of custom ice packed in a designer Louis Vuitton duffel bag. This wasn't some shady deal. Duke came legit, ready to negotiate business and grow his brand. He entered that room confident, not hiding, not ducking, proud of what he built. Flashing his pieces and showing off his skills, thinking he was among people who recognized the grind. He was all about the come up, never expecting what happened next. But what did he get in return? Silence, missing jewelry, a vanished bag, and a body left behind. People have been piecing timelines together, watching footage, and connecting dots, and the pattern is getting clearer. After that dice game, Duke was gone, and so was the bag. The ice disappeared without a trace. It's like he walked in with everything and walked out with nothing. That's no accident. That's a robbery with intent. Now folks are wondering, was it all planned from the start? There's no sign of that $1 million haul anywhere. Duke showed up, but suddenly, the cameras were off. No footage, no witnesses. And out of everyone in that room, only one person didn't walk out alive. Duke. That's not bad luck. That's too perfect to be random. This story is writing itself. But wait, it gets even wilder. That same Louis Vuitton bag, the one Duke brought with over $1 million worth of custom jewelry, Houston PD confirmed it was found inside Boosie's own home, not some random storage unit. Not with a friend, but in his actual crib. Think about that. And now, word on the street says Duke asked Boosie to hold the bag while they were playing dice. But when things went south and Duke ended up dead, that bag never made it back to Duke's people. No police report, was just sitting there like it belonged to Boosie all along. Here's the real question. If Duke trusted Boosie enough to hand over $1 million bag, then why didn't Boosie step up after the shooting? Why didn't he call the cops? Why didn't he reach out to Duke's family? Why was that bag just sitting at his place like nothing happened? And if that wasn't messy enough, now there's a missing phone too. Duke's phone disappeared, right? After the dice game vanished, nobody knew where it went or saw anything. But the feds aren't amateurs. Every phone leaves a trail like a digital fingerprint. When they traced Duke's phone, it didn't vanish into thin air. No, it pinged at Boosie's recording studio. That's right, the last known signal came from Boosie's spot, unless that phone somehow walked over there by itself. Someone in Boosie's circle had it. Phones don't teleport, and that ping doesn't lie. Someone either got reckless or thought no one was paying attention to that studio. That was the phone's last known location before it went completely dark. Another link back to Boosie. When the feds checked Duke's rental truck, they found something worse than a mystery suspect. They pulled Boosie's own nephew's fingerprints from inside the vehicle. That's bloodline right there. Boosie's inner circle is getting dragged deeper into this mess. And it's not just one relative next up. Boosie's little cousin got involved too. That's two family members both directly tied to the crime. Seen? This isn't just rumors. This is hard forensic evidence. Fingerprints? Real proof. No guessing. The feds love this stuff, it's gold in court. When the prints matched those tied to the suspect, that was a slam dunk for prosecution. But it doesn't stop there. No, it gets crazier. A witness, regular person stepping outside for a smoke, said something that changed everything. They told investigators they saw Duke leaving Boosie's house. At first it looked normal. Duke was calm, relaxed, like he had no worries. Just another day, another deal. But suddenly, Boosie's nephew appeared, creeping up from the side, casually, but lurking. Like he was waiting, like the plan was already in motion. According to federal documents and street rumors, Duke knew something was off. They say he didn't freeze or run. No, he fought back, swung first, trying to defend himself. Word is, Duke tried to break free, but it was too late. That's when Boosie's nephew allegedly pulled the trigger, no shouting, no warning, just one quick, deadly shot. And just like that, it was over. Clean, cold, and calculated. It all happened right outside the spot where Duke thought he was safe. Handling legitimate business with someone he trusted. This wasn't a random street fight. This was personal, fast, silent, and screams premeditation. And here's the biggest slip-up that got the whole crew under the federal microscope. They kept the jewelry. Whether they stole it on purpose or just never returned it, it doesn't matter. That Louis Vuitton bag, packed with over $1 million in custom pieces, never made it back to Duke's family. It stayed in Boosie's possession, still there. While Duke's phone was tracked not to some burner spot, but straight to Boosie's recording studio, two major pieces of evidence, the bag and the phone, both point right back to Boosie's front door. This isn't gossip, it's evidence, motive, and exactly how the feds build a case, brick by brick. Following that trail from stolen jewelry to missing phone to the people holding it, it was a wrap. But just when you thought it couldn't get messier, it does. Now people are looking at J. Prince, asking serious questions. If J. Prince really runs Houston like everyone says, how did something this wild go down on his turf without him knowing? Let's keep it 100. J. Prince is famous for enforcing a strict check-in culture. If you come to H-Town, you better check in or things turn ugly, fast. Robberies, setups, disappearances, people know the rules.
Supposed to be a certain protocol for people to check in?
No, and I'll begin with me and then he can speak
and they can speak for the other generation. But I'm a never, you know what I mean? We don't have time for no sucker shit like that. You know, now a lot of people from the different police departments and all these different people want to insinuate like we extorting people. They have to.
That's how the city operates. It's been that way for years. So, if Duke really came to Houston on business and checked in like he was supposed to, it brings up a major question. Did someone give the green light? Because now it's looking like this hit wasn't random at all. It seems like someone allowed it to happen right under the watch of the man who's said to have the city locked down. Even folks with deep mob connections are talking, suggesting maybe Boosie's nephew acted alone. But not everyone's buy that story. Too many eyes are still on Jay Prince, wondering how something this serious slipped through his city without any sign or warning. And here's a key detail. A lot of people miss something that could change everything. Sources close to the scene say Duke was on a hot streak that night. He wasn't just casually playing dice. He was winning big, taking stacks from everyone including Boosie's own crew. That's when the vibe changed. What started as a relaxed, high-stakes game quickly turned tense. Because when cash starts flowing one way and egos get bruised, it doesn't take long for things to explode. Pride and money to things you never mess with, and Duke, he was winning way too much, way too fast. The room fell silent to silent. That kind of quiet isn't peaceful. It's the calm before the storm. So now, the biggest questions remain. Did Duke walk into a setup from the very start? Or did his lucky streak spiral into something deadly? Was Boosie pulling the strings? Or just a pawn in a larger game? And when the truth finally comes out, who's really going to face the consequences? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Was this a setup, a misunderstanding, or just a clash of egos and greed at the worst possible moment? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next deep dive. And hey, share your theories in the comments. We read every single one. Catch you in the next video.